So once again, I'm happy to welcome you all to the Zoho Creators Learning Table series for the month of October. To talk about this learning table series, this is a month-on-month session which is held at the first week of the month. In this series, we usually talk about how Creator can be used as a solution in order to automate different business processes. So in that flow, this month we are going to talk about AI enhanced construction management. We'll be talking in detail about what are the processes that needs automation in this construction management and how we are going to make use of Creator as a solution in order to provide that automation. So before I move on into the session, let me quickly introduce myself. So this is me, Preeti Venkatesh, and I'm going to be the trainer of today's session. And also, I'll give you a quick overview about what is Zoho Creator, because there might be some new people over here. So I'll give a quick overview about what is Zoho Creator before I step in into today's session. So, what is Zoho Creator? Zoho Creator is a low code custom application development platform. This is not only an application development platform, but it is a combination of application development. We can perform business intelligence, we can perform seamless integrations, we can create analytics. So, and also we can create AI based applications. So, everything is combined in just one platform. This helps the businesses to create streamlined custom solutions to enhance the productivity of their business. So in the right side, you can get to see a picture that denotes that Zoho Creator can fit in into any industry and it can automate many different processes involved in a single industry. So in that flow, we will be talking about the construction management. This is going to be the agenda for today's session. First, I'll give a introduction about the construction management. What is construction management, and what are the processes that needs automation in the construction management. And the second point is we'll discuss in detail about the entire life cycle of the construction management. And as I said before, we have built an application on top of Creator in order to automate that life cycle. We'll discuss about the process flow used to build that application. And also we have enhanced the working of this construction management by using the AI enhancements in the application. We'll discuss about what is the AI enhancements we have used, and finally, we will see the live demonstration, that is the walkthrough of the application called as construction management. And we will follow it by elaborating the extended use cases of that application. And we'll conclude the session by summarizing it. So this is going to be the agenda. And if you have any questions or doubts in between, please post it in the question tab. My co-trainers will be actively answering your questions. So now let's move on into the first topic, that is introduction. So, what is construction management? As the name says, from the process of planning a construction, creating the designs for the construction, organizing the resources and the materials, and monitoring or overseeing the entire construction projects. So, all these processes are combinedly called as the construction management. So, in what are the things, processes that is to be noted in this construction management? So when we are trying to automate this, we have to ensure that the project should be completed on time, and we should have a frequent track on the budget and the expenses that we are estimated. And then we have to make sure that the construction we are doing meet the quality standards. And also this particular automation should provide a coordination between all the resources that is involved in the construction. And also it should act as a link between the client, designer, contractors, and the workers. So all these people, stakeholders of the application, should be notified or should have a proper communication channel until the construction project that has been initiated comes to an end. And also the construction project that we have taken should focus on risk management, safety, and the compliance throughout the project. That things also should be automatically managed within the application that we are trying to build. So this is about the construction management and the processes that needs to be kept in mind before automating this construction management. So this is all about it. Now let's talk about the life cycle, construction management life cycle, the general process involved in this construction management. So, construction management life cycle, when I talk about it, the first and the foremost step is planning and designing. We need to plan where the project is going to be located and what is the design of that particular project. Once that is done, then the second step is procurement. We have to decide what type of material is needed, resources needed, and what type of asset is needed in order for this construction to move smoothly. And the third step is the actual construction execution, that is the on-site project. So we have to allocate the employees and manage their wages, and finally once the construction execution is started, we have to continuously monitor and control the construction that has been happening. And once the construction is completed, successfully completed, then we will make the project to be closed. So when I talk about plan and design, that plan and design step involves defining the project goals, like what type of property or the what type of construction I'm going to perform, and I have to create the schedule when I'm going to start the project and what will be the deadline to hand over the project to the clients, and we have to estimate the budget, and we have to develop the entire construction plan or the design in order for the project to be initiated. So that will be handled in the first step. And as I said before, in the procurement, we have to choose the contractors from whom we are going to rent the assets, rent the resources that is needed for the construction to be handled. And also we have to make sure whether the materials needed for the construction has been procured. All these things will be managed in the second step, that is the procurement. And third step is construction execution, that is the actual on-site building activities. So here I have to manage the labors, the resources, they manage their wages, and I have to rent the equipments on time when it is needed. And I also have to continuously ensure the safety of the construction that has been happening. And next, when I talk about monitoring and controlling, this is nothing but we would have scheduled a job to be completed in a particular timeline. So we have to make sure the progress of that particular job, and if there is any change in the schedule or change in the material requirement, we have to manage the changes as well, and we have to control the cost and make it match the budget that we have estimated while initiating the project. And also we have to manage the quality and the compliance of the construction that is going on. So once all the things are done, the final step is project close out. So this is nothing but once the project is completed, we will just inspect the project and hand over the project to the clients. So this is the entire construction management life cycle from planning to close. So we have automated this life cycle with the help of Creator as a solution. So before we see the live application, let me walk you through the process flow, application process flow that will be involved in the application we will be seeing in the live demo. And also we will be discussing about who are the users of the application and what are the features that are highlighted in the application. So everything will be discussed beforehand to have a clear idea about what we can expect in the live demo. Now let's start with the application process flow. So here we have segregated that process flow into different modules. The first module is going to be project design and execution, where the project initiation, construction plan, assignment of the project to the stakeholders. So all those kinds of action will be happening in the first module, that is project design and execution. And second module is going to be job order management. So job order management is nothing but if I take a single project, there will be many jobs that needs to be done. For example, it can be in site preparation, or for it can be in flooring, or it can be in plumbing. There will be so many minute job orders that needs to be done. So we will be having a separate module to track all the job orders that will be linked with the project that we have initiated. So that will be our second module. And third module is going to be the material management. Start a job order called as plumbing. So I need materials like the pipes or any connecting tubes, and also I need resources like a plumber or an helper. So all those kind of material management and the resource management will be handled in this particular module. And next is the asset management. So let's say I'm just going to perform any site preparation, so I need to clear the site. So I need an asset, in order in asset or a mission in order to do that work. So I can either use the asset that is available within my organization, or I can rent it from the contractors and make use of it. So those kind of things will be managed in this asset management module. And last module is going to be procurement. So if there is any low stock for the materials, or if there is any transfer that is needed for the materials, so all those kind of procurement will be handled in this particular module, procurement. So this is how we have divided the entire construction management application that we are going to see as modules. So what I will do is I'll just give a quick overview about what we can expect in these modules before we see the live demo. So in the project design and execution, first we will initiate the project, that is the location of the project will be added, and who will be in charge of that project will be assigned. So all those things will be handled in the first step. And second step is configure the property. Let's say I'm going to build an residential apartment, so I need to decide what are the blocks that particular apartment should contain, and what are the house plans that the particular apartment should contain. All those configuration will be happening over here, and we will be designing the entire construction plan as the third step. And let's say the construction plan needs any change, so or design needs any change, we have a separate module to manage the design change request as well. So as a planner, let's say I have a version 1 of the plan, I need to change that version to a new updated version. I can request for the design change, and it goes into the project lead's knowledge, and the project lead will approve the particular design change request raised. And also I can continuously monitor the design versioning, and I can track what is the changes made in the first version and the second version. So these are the things that will be involved in the project design and the execution of the project. Now we have the project details that is available. Next step is assigning the job orders. So as I said before, each and every project has their own job order, right? So we will be talking about how it will be managed in this particular model. So here, job order in essence, let me take an example, like I'm just going to prepare the site before construction, that is site preparation. So that particular job order will be linked to the property or the project that we have taken. We will define what has to be done in the job order, and we'll assign it to an in charge. So inside the site preparation job order, there will be some work orders. For example, for the site preparation, I need to clear the land, I need to build the fencing for the land. So all those minute job work orders will be linked to each and every job order we have created. This is nothing but breakdown of the task. And in this work order, let's say when I'm clearing the land, I need some materials to be procured. So those material details will be available, and I'll assign the resources in order to perform that particular action. So these are the things that will be available in the work order. And within the wall construction work order, there will be minute work items like constructing the wall painting. There will be so many users that will be involved in each and every work item. So I'll divide the work orders into work items and assign it to the respective resource. So here the job order is going to be the whole order. Within the order, we will be having so many second level of orders, and within the work order, there will be work items which will be assigned to the particular resources. So once a single work item is completed, it will be updated in the work order, and and once a single work order is completed, it will be updated in the job order. And once the job order is completed, it will be updated in the project that we have taken. So this is all about how will be managing the job order. We will see in detail about how with an sample entry in the live demo. So to get a clear knowledge about how it is managed. And next module is going to be material management. So in this material management, let's say for a job order, the project leads needs and material request. That is, for wall construction, he need bricks to be procured. So he'll be requesting for the material. So for the particular procurer will check whether the material is available in stock. If it is not available in stock, he'll be check whether the particular material is available in other projects. So if it is available in other projects, he will just transfer it to the new request, and we will update that in the inventory. So let's say it is not available in the other project as well. Obviously, you will create a purchase order and notify the vendors, perform the procurement, and allocate it to the particular project that we have taken. And let's say it is available in the stock, automatically you will allocate it to the particular request that has been raised. So these are the three ways in which I'll be creating the material request. And next comes the procurement and the asset management. The procurement, it's going to be very simple. Whenever a material request needs a purchase order to be created, the procurer will create the purchase order and he will update the stock in the inventory, and he will manage the payments, and also he will just auto generate automatically. The invoice will be generated for each and every purchase order and the stock that is transferred between the organization and the vendors. And next is the asset management. So here, similar to the material request, the project lead or the planner can request for the asset that is needed for a construction site. The procurer will just check for the availability of the asset. If it is available, he will allocate it to the particular project that has been requested for. If it is not available, that is, it can be under maintenance or it can be occupied with any other projects that has been happening simultaneously. So if it is not available, you will notify the particular project lead like when it will be available, and then he can book that particular asset on that particular time. So this is how we will be managing the asset management. Next comes, this is all about the modules that are involved in the application we will be seeing in the live demo. Now let's talk about the users of the application. In Zoho Creator, we have two types of user. One is the internal stakeholders, that is the internal users of your application, and next is going to be the external stakeholders or external users of your application. So in this construction management, we have few internal stakeholders and few external stakeholders managed within the application. The first stakeholder is project lead, the lead or the in charge of the entire project that is going to be initiated. So he oversees the project details, and he will be the point of approval for the plan and the budget that has been estimated by the planner. He coordinates with the entire team from the initiation of the project to closure. And this is, he will be the first stakeholder of the construction. And second would be the planner will be the point where who will be creating the job orders, work items and everything, and he will be the person who will be assigning it to the other resources to perform that action. And he manages the materials and tracks the progress of the job that he has assigned, and he will report that to the project lead. Next is going to be the procurer. Whenever material request is raised by the planner, the procurer will just check for the availability and handles the procurement and have a contact with the vendors to procure the materials on time. And next is the employees. So employees are the person who will be executing the task. They will be following the timeline assigned by the planner, and they will report the progress to the planner, and the planner will report it to the project lead. So these are the internal stakeholders of our application. And next is the external stakeholders. As we all know, first external stakeholder is going to be the vendors. So who will be supplying the materials that we have requested, and we will be make sure it is delivered on time and payments will be managed. And next is the contractor. So let's say I'm just going to rent an asset, or I'm just going to take the resources as per the contract basis for a single project. So I can just onboard the contract, execute the job, manage the workers, and he will just he will just make sure the deadline for the project is managed. So he is going to be the external stakeholder of our application. So these are the users of our application. So and last we have the AI enhancement. So as I said before, we have used an AI enhancement inside this construction management to make the construction management work in a more enhanced way. The enhancement we have used is AI assisted incident detail extraction. So this is nothing but if whenever we are trying to build a construction management, obviously we should have a module for the incident management. Like if there is an incident happened in a particular project, we have to notify it to the project lead, and the project lead should take the necessary action. So in this place, we have implemented an AI assistance. That is nothing but whenever a employee or a resource captures the incident that has been made and uploads the incident into the incident management form, automatically, depending upon the image that we have uploaded, the AI will auto generate the details about the incident that has been happened, like incident type, description of the incident. All those things will be auto generated from the AI that we have that we have used within this incident management. So once the form is submitted, it goes into the project attention. The project will take the necessary action. So this is the place where we have used the AI enhancement within our application. So I hope I gave a clear overview about what we can expect in this live demonstration, right? So now let's move on into the important topic of the day, that is live demonstration of the construction management application. So this is the application I was talking about, construction management. You can get to see a dashboard where I can get to see the consolidated KPIs for all the projects that I have initiated. Let me zoom in here. So here you can get to see the construction management modules. So first module is the project. Obviously this is the place where I will configure all the project related information, like the project details, or it can be an project configuration, assigning a project. All those kind of actions will be managed within this project module. And next is the design module. So as I mentioned before, we will be managing the design versioning, right? So every time a planner keeps on changing a construction plan, it will be goes into the approval and the versioning will be managed. So that thing will be managed in this particular module, design versioning. And next is the job order. This is the important module where all the job orders and work items will be handled. And next we have the materials module where all the material requests, the material allocation, all those things will be managed. And then next the procurement where the purchase orders will be managed. And then we have the approvals. The approval module is the single place where I can get to see all the approvals that is available in the application. It can be a material transfer from one project to the another. It can be a work item approval, design approval, asset request approval. All those things are managed in a single module. And next is the list of assets and the asset request we have within our application. And also we will be having the case management, like the incident management, important documents, RFIs will be managed. And then we have the settings. Inside the settings, first we have the preferences where I can manage all the currency type, currency format, date format that will be used within the entire application will be managed as a general. And the organization information, like the name of the organization, the contact information, can be added over here. You can simply click on edit button and you can edit the particular organization related details. And we have the ID setup. So each and every, for a project there will be a unique ID for each and every project we are creating. For job orders there will be a unique ID. So all those ID setups, that is the keyword before the ID, will be updated in this ID setup module. You can edit this and you can change the ID setup modules according to your convenience. And then you have the app settings. App settings is the place where I'll be managing all my stock related information, like the materials, like we have the cement, bricks, steel, all those kind of material related information will be available in this app setting. If I want to add a material, I can simply click on add new and I can create a material. Let me create a sample material called as sand, and I'll upload the sand image. And category, it comes under the it comes under, let's, you can create a new category as well, or let me use with the existing category. Let me go with cement. The unit will be calculated in kgs. If you want to require any minimum stock, you can just click on yes and the minimum stock details can be updated. Or you can click no, the material cost will be 500 per kg. The vendor from whom I'm going to procure is going to be Dhiren, a particular vendor. If you want to add more than one vendor from whom you will be procuring the sand, can be updated over here, and the material details can be given. Construction. So these are the material details that you will be updating. Once I click on submit, the material details will be added over here. Whenever I'm trying to use a material within my project, according to the unit price, the cost will be automatically estimated within the project that I'm going to add. So this is how we are adding the materials into our stock. And next comes the asset. All the asset details will be available over here. Either it can be a rented asset or it can be an own asset. So let me try to add an asset. Model number, asset name, let me try to add a concrete mixer. So it's going to be a rental asset, or it's going to be an own asset. Let me go with rental asset. So if I choose the rental asset, so I have to select the contractor and the rent per day. So let me upload the asset image, concrete mixer, and also I'll be giving the purchase date of that particular concrete mixer, the value, in charge who will be taking care of this particular asset, and contractor from whom we are going to rent this particular asset, and the rent per day details will be available. And you can give the asset details as well, that is the type of the asset usage, all the fuel consumption of the asset, all those kind of asset details can be added over here. So this is how we are adding the asset. Whenever I'm trying to request for an asset, first it comes and checks whether the asset is a rental or an own. If it is a rental asset, it automatically calculates the asset rent according to the days that we are requesting it for. And next we have the interesting part, that is the average cost. There will be so many resources that will be available, that we will be available within the organization, right? What is the cost, per day cost of that particular resource will be added over here. So you can just add a resource by clicking on new, and you can add a resource, or you can, if you want to change a existing resources cost per day, you can change it over here. So this is the place where we'll be managing the resources. So while creating the project, while assigning the resources, depending upon the number of days we need a resource, the cost will be calculated from this average cost. And then we have the work orders. There will be so many general work orders that will be available for a construction. All those kind of general work orders will be available over here. So I can just and the material cost, resource needed for that particular work order has been assigned over here. So I can just simply make use of this work order into a project that I'm creating, and according to the material and the resource cost, the total cost, the estimation will be added into my project. Let me try to add a work order and show you. I'm just going to add the work order called as plumbing. Number of days, let's go with 5 days, and let me give the work order details. And the materials I need for plumbing can be added over here. I need an like I need plastics quantity, and the cost will be calculated, and I need a glass. So whatever material you need, you can just you add it over the materials, and you can add it as the material estimation. So whenever I'm using the particular work order, this cost will be calculated. And then I have the resource estimation. I will be using a plumber for the entire 5 days. If for five members required is two, and I'll be using them for entire 5 days. According to that, the estimate will be calculated. And let's say I need an helper for the 2 days, two-person for 5 days. According to that, the cost will be estimated, and the material and the resource cost will be calculated separately, and the overall cost for this particular work order will be calculated. So once I submit it, the particular work order will be created with the materials and the resources that we have added. So whenever I'm using this work order within my application, you can just get to add this work order. So this is the place where we'll be managing all the application settings. Apart from that, we have the user modules, where we'll be managing all the internal stakeholders of our application. It can be a project lead, or it can be a planner, procurer, or the employees who will be assisting the project lead and the planner. All those types of information according to their job position will be added in this particular module. And as a vendor, so let's say I have a vendor from whom I have procured few of the materials. So that details I can get to see over here, and the vendor basic information will be available in this particular module. Vendor is going to be an external stakeholder of our application. If you want to add a vendor, you can add it from this particular place. And then I have the contractors information, like let's say I'm just going to rent an asset, let's say for under this particular contractor, I have the contract mixer, right, concrete mixer, which has been added just now. So whenever I want to rent it, I can just rent it from this particular contractor, and I can pay it in the pay the invoice over this particular project. So if I want to add a new contractor, I can just add it in this particular module. So this is how we are managing the internal and the external users of our application and the general app settings. So this is all about the settings. Now let's try to create a project and go with the flow. Let me try to add a project. So whenever I'm trying to add a project, I need to give the basic details of the project, project configuration, and the construction plan. Let me go with the project, green form developments, phase 1. You can upload the image, project image, a sample project image, how the project will look like. And the construction type, let's say it's going to be in residential, I'm going to construct an gated community, and I'm going to name that project as greenform developments. And it will be, let's say it will be starting around 15th of October, and it's going to be a 2-year project. So by 2027 October, the project should be completed. And the location, I'm going to construct the project in Bangalore. And I can give the project details. It's going to be an gated community. You can describe the project details over here, and the location of the project has to be added in this address field, like where the project is going to be started. So these are the basic project information. And then I have the project member details. So just now we saw the user list that is available in the app settings, right? So from there, I can get to assign a project lead for my particular project. I can assign a planner. I can assign more than one planner for this particular project. And I can assign a more than one procurer. And I can assign the employees who will be coordinating with my project lead and the planner. So these are the basic project details and the project members that I have assigned. So once I click on the next, it goes into the project configuration. Like how many units I'm going to build in that particular gated community, like how many 2 BHK apartments, how many 3 BHK, those kind of information will be updated over here. So I'll be giving a keyword to start the unit with. Let me go with GF. And the property type, let's say I'm going to build 2 BHK, number of units going to be 2. A basic 2 BHK layout design will be updated in this place. And let's say I'll be having 3 BHK in total, 3 BHK, and 3 BHK general design will be updated over here. And let's say I'm going to build 4 BHK, let's go with 4 BHK, and I'll be updating the 4 BHK detail. So you can get to see these are the total number of units that will be available in that gated community. And for 2 BHK, how many units, the segregation will be available, and the overall unit details will be available over here. So whenever I'm trying to create the construction plan, the unit code will be starting from this. So once I click on the next, I can get to see the construction plan. So where I have to update the overall construction plan, that is the overall layout of the construction. And then I need to update the floor or the building details. Let's say for block A, I'll be having 2 BHK, and the design for that block A is going to be updated. A single design for this 2 BHK alone. And again, in the block A, I will be having a 3 BHK. Let's say I'll be having 3 BHK apartments, and I'll update the 3 BHK apartment details in this particular module. And then I have the block B, where I'll be having the remaining 2 BHK apartment, and the block B's structure will be updated over here. And then in the same block B, I'll be having a 4 BHK apartment, or for one 4 BHK house. So that 4 BHK house details will be updated. So this is how I'm segregating the units according to the blocks. So I have two blocks for each and every block. What are the property types and the unit numbers and the design will be updated in this construction plan. So once all the construction details has been created, I can click on finish, and you can get to see the construction is project has been created. So the project status is ongoing since the month has already started, and the completion level is 0%. We didn't assign any job order or work order. So once I click on the detailed view of this particular project, I can get to see all the informations regarding the project. For example, it can be in project basic details, location of the project. An interesting part is I can get to see the temperature of this particular location where I'm going to start the project. And next comes the Gantt chart where I can get to see all the job order status and the work order status. So we didn't add any job order and work order yet, so it's empty for now. And then we have the interesting tab where I can get to see the entire project information. So here I can get to see the property types, the versioning and the design for each and every property type. And then when I go to the construction, I can get to see the overall construction plan and the overall construction design. And in the unit module, I can get to see the unit details. For example, 2 BHK, I have one two designs that has been uploaded. 3 BHK, there are two design. For 4 BHK, there is one design. So I can get to see all the unit designs and the unit versioning and the design versioning. And whenever I assign a job order, all the job order status and the will be updated over here. And material, whenever I'm procuring a material or getting a transfer of material, or material request, that will be updated over here. If I'm using an asset or asset request, that will be updated over here. Same way, incidents, documents, and the payments. If let's say I'm just using a contracted asset or rented an asset, according to that, what are the payments that I need to pay to the vendors or the contractors will be available over here. And when I go to the bottom, I can get to see the overall budget of my particular project. So in the single view itself, I can get to see all the information that is related to the project. Now let's say I have a design, let's say I have a construction plan, right? So this is my construction plan. So I've used a construction plan. I need to change this entire construction design. It's going to be pretty simple. The planner just go to the designs tab and he can request for a design change. So let's go with the green form developments phase one. The request type is, if you want to change any property design, like I want to change the 2 BHK or 3 BHK design, or if I want to change the block A's design, I can do it. Now let's say I'm going to change the entire construction plan. I can upload the updated construction plan over this particular module, and I can update who is going to request, who is the planner of this design, and I'll be giving a description: new plan or design needs to be updated. I can get to see the design request. So once the design request is submitted, it goes into the approval. So this design request will be submitted by a planner. So it will goes into the project lead's notification. The project lead will check the new design that has been uploaded. And once he is okay with this new design, he can simply approve the particular design change. So by giving a comment, approved. Once the design change is approved, if you go out to this design module, you can get to see the all, where I can get to see the timeline of the design change that has been happened along with the comments that is given. Similarly, if I go to the project's detail view, I can get to see the change in the design for my entire construction plan. So when I go to the construction plan, I can get to see the version 2 has been updated over here. At the beginning, it was version 1, the first design, and now you can get to see the new design that has got updated into my particular construction module. So this is how we are managing the design change request and the approval of the design change, versioning of the design change. Next comes the important module, job order. So each and every project, as I said before, has their own job order, work order, and the work items. So let me explain you how it is managed within this job order module. Let me try to create a new job order. So for the green form developments, I'm going to create the job order as site preparation. I'm going to do I'm going to make use of the internal employees to perform this, or I'm going to give it to any contractor. That detail can be updated over here. The priority level and the planner who will be in charge for this particular job order, contractor who will be let me go with this contractor who will be performing this particular job order. So contractor is the person who will be supplying us with the resources, and the start date of that particular site preparation. Let's say it will be completed in 2 months, and I can get to add the details of that site preparation. And this is the one work order, one job order for this project. Within this job order, I'll be having tons of work orders. For example, you can get to see like gate installation, the priority. I'll be starting it from 17th. You can get to see automatically the end date has been calculated. This is because already we have this app settings, right? We have added the work orders in this app settings. So this is the work order I'm using. It will be going for 5 days. Material cost, resource cost, other cost, all those details will be available in this particular work order itself. So according to this only, the end date is calculated, and I'll be assigning an internal let's say internal in charge for that particular job work order. And if you want to add one more work order, let's say I need to demolish something, I can give the high priority for this, and it will be starting from 18th, and automatically the end date will be calculated, and I'll assign a person who will be in charge for this. So this is how I'll be divide and schedule the work orders for a single job order. Once I submitted, the work job order will be created. Let's say I want to add another work order for this particular site preparation job order. So I can just simply click on add work order. Let's say I'm just going to add a work order called as plumbing. Let's go with plumbing, the new work order that we created. So this work order should be completed within 5 days. So according to that, the end date will be calculated. So I'll go with high. It will be starting from 24th. The end date will be calculated, and I'm assigning it to a planner. So once I submitted, this work order also will be added into my job order. So in the detailed view of the job order, I can get to see the basic information of the job that we have created, and the status of the job, and what are the work orders that is available. And depending upon the materials we have allocated for each work order, the material list and the resource list will be available over here. So whenever I'm using a single work order, automatically the material cost and the resource cost will be added to that work order, and depending upon the material and the resource cost, the overall estimation will be happen for this particular job order. So these everything is automatically calculated at the back end. Now let me, if I go to the work order, I can get to see all the work order details that is available. So this is the newly added job order green form developments. We have added we have added 3 work orders. Let's say within this gate installation, I'm going to add few work items. So here when I talk about work items for this particular gate installation itself, I need to do things like I need to I need to perform wall construction. So before wall construction, how was the particular location that will be that we are working on, and what will be the work detail description. And similarly, once the wall construction is completed, and next is going to be like I'll be I'll be installing the gates. So before installing the gate, how was the image, and after installing, how was the image, those details also has to be updated over here. So within this gate installation, I have 2 types of work items that has been assigned, that is wall construction and installing the gates. So once I updated, this work item will be updated. So when I just click on this gate installation part, I can get to see the work items, and the materials used should be used for this gate installation alone, and the resources allocated for this gate installation alone will be available. And now the resources have been getting notified about the work items that has been assigned to them. So once the work item is completed, so this is the newly added work item, that is installing the gates and the wall construction. Now let's say I have completed the installing the gates part. So I can just simply click on this particular work item, or let's say first I've completed the wall construction. I can click on this. I can upload after wall construction how is the image of the land is looking like. And if you want to update any voice note, you can update it over here. You can get to say wall construction completed. And next is like the materials. What are the materials I have consumed to construct this wall? I can update it over here. So let's say I've used cement 10 consumption, and I have used bricks. Apart from the materials that has been allocated for this job order, I can use extra materials as well from my inventory. So I've used 50 bricks. And what are the resources I have used? I have used manson. I have used 5 mansons for almost 5 days. And I have used let's say I've used an helper 2 days for two people for 5 days. So these are the materials I have consumed and the resources I have used. Once I update it, the work item will be marked as completed, and it will goes into the goes. You can get to see there is no progress change because we have just uploaded by saying that work item is completed. It has to go into the approval. The project lead will check the work item. So when you just this is the newly yeah, when you just click on it in the detail, you can get to see the before image and the after image of this particular gate installation, that is wall construction. The material used and the resources used will be available over here. What is the total cost also will be available over here. So if he is satisfied with that particular wall construction, he can just simply go to the approval and he can approve it. So once the work item is approved, this work item status will be changed as approved within my work order, or let's go within my work order. So you can get to see under gate installation, the 50 percentage of the work has been completed. So we had two work items. In that, one work item has been completed, one work item is pending. That's why the progress is 50 percentage. So similar to that, I can just update the work items for the site preparation, that is demolition and the plumbing. So once all the work items are completed, this work order will be marked as complete, and once all the work order is marked as completed, I can get to see the entire site preparation job order gets to completed. So this is how we will be managing the job order, work order, and the work items. And let's say for material, let's go to the materials module. Let's say in order to construct the wall or in order to do the plumbing, I need the material request to be raised. It's not available within the project resources. I need an extra material. So I can just simply request for the new material. So for the green form developments, for the work order gate installation, so you can get to see I had hollow blocks, steel, cement, and the bricks. Steel and cement and the bricks are consumed completely. So I need extra quantity that needs to be procured. And also for the steel, I need some extra steel. I don't need the hollow blocks. So Bob is requesting, and he required that within 23rd of October. So he needs steel, cement, and the bricks. Now let's say I need the hollow blocks as well. So I'll go with that as well. Hollow blocks as well I need. So once he has requested for these materials and the quantity that he needs, he can just simply click on the request, and the request will get submitted in this particular module with the status request submitted. Now the project will go to the allocation and click on the allocation button. So as I said before, I can just if the you can get to see automatically only create PO has been updated over here. So the steel, bricks, and the hollow blocks is not available either within the stock or with other projects. So that's why automatically create PO has been generated. Now let's say this cement is available in Kira gated community. So this is another project which is happening simultaneously. So I can just request for this project lead to transfer the cement to my project, that is green form developments. So I'm just going to do one transfer and few purchase order. Now let's say this particular material is available in stock itself, automatically it will say this project. So this is how we are managing the material request. Once I update it, it will be allocated. So when I click on it, I can get to see the detailed information. I need to create purchase order for three materials and one transfer. So as soon as the transfer is allocated by the project lead, it goes into the approval, that is the Kira Gated Community Projects project lead. You can get to see the details over here. You can get to see the detailed view where the cement with 25 quantity is requested by the green farm developments. So if he is okay with that, he can just simply approve this by giving approved. Once it is approved, the transfer will get initiated. So like I can just go to my materials. The particular project lead has been accepted for the transfer. When I go to the ship, I can get to see from gated Kira Gators community to the green farm development, I need to ship this cement. So I can just simply click on ship now and give the vehicle details on which I'm going to ship this particular project material. And I'll be giving the personal informations of the driver who will be in charge of that, and the quantity I'm going to supply. So once I update it, the material will be shipped. And once the material is received from the green farm development, the particular project lead of green farm can just simply click on received. Automatically this stock will be updated into my project details. So in the request as well, the particular request has been completed, the transfer has been completed. And next is like for other three project materials, I need to raise the procurement, I need to raise the purchase order. So I can just simply click on this raise PO. The procurer will just perform this particular action for the green farm development from the Dhiran Private Limited. So Dhiran Private Limited does not have the required materials, but the vendor one has the hollow blocks, and the vendor two has glass and bricks, and vendor three has steel. Let's try to procure it from the vendor one, only the hollow blocks. So I can just procure it from different vendors, whoever is available with that particular product. So I'll be giving the raised by information and the shipment information to where the shipment has to be done, and automatically the details will be calculated. So I can simply click on raise the PO. And similarly for other materials like the steel and the glass as well, I have raised the procurement, right? So from the vendor 2, I'll be from the vendor 3. Oh, so all the things are procured. Okay, so in this particular raise PO purchase order, I can get to see the newly raised purchase order. When I click on it, I can get to see the invoice. Till now we didn't receive any product, so we'll not send the invoice. So let's say I have received a partial amount of the material. In this among this 60 quantity, I have received 30 of them. So according to the delivered hollow block material, I can just update the partially received payment link. Once it is updated, you can get to see the invoice that has been generated for only 300, that is the partial invoice. So in the purchase order itself, if I go over here, I can get to see the status as partially received. So until this entire hollow blocks is received from the particular vendor, this particular invoice will be open. Let's say I've just received all my quantity that I have requested. So once I submit it, you can get to see two invoices that has been generated for the single purchase order. And when I click on it, the whole product has been received from the vendor and the status has been completed as received. So I cannot update the invoice. So you can get to see the entire invoice details that has been updated over here. You can just send this entire invoice detail and pay in total, or you can just go over here and send the single invoice detail and pay it separately. It depends upon the requirement that we are going to perform. So this is how we are managing the purchase order. And similarly, I explained about all the approval processes that was happening. And next is the asset. So in order to build a wall, I need the contract mixer asset. So the project lead or the planner can just request for that particular asset. For this particular project, I need the contract mixer from 23rd of October to 31st of October for almost 8 days. So if it is not available, it throws a pop-up saying that that is occupied or under maintenance. For now, this asset is available to be used. So I can just give it like for what I need this particular asset and requested by detail. So once I submitted, the asset request will be created. Obviously, the asset request will go into the approval, and once the in charge of that particular asset approves it, it will be allocated to that particular project. So once it is approved, if I go to the project's detail view, I can get to see the I can get to see the you can get to see the Gantt chart, right? We have one job order that is ongoing, and then I can get to see the job order details in this particular module and the progress of the job order. The materials have procured, you can get to see the materials you have procured. Three materials has been procured and one has been transferred. And I had the asset information, the assets I have rented, and the and we will cover the incidents now. So these are the things we have covered for now, and depending upon the material and the asset and the job order, the overall budget and the balance will be automatically calculated. So now let's talk about the interesting part, that is incident. Let's say an incident has been happened in the green form developments. Automatically the any worker or the employer can just raise the incident. For example, in green form development, there is an incident happened by an internal employee, and I'll upload the incident's image. And when I just click on this AI generated incident details, automatically, I'm sorry, let me add a new incident. I'll choose the project priority and the internal user details who has just caused this incident, and the image of the incident will be updated over here. And once the image is uploaded, when I just give on AI generate the incident details, automatically depending upon the image we have uploaded, it just extracts the incident type, description, cause of the incidents. If you want to edit it, you can just simply go through it and edit it, and who will be the witness alone should be added manually. So all those things will be automatically generated by the AI extraction depending upon the image I am uploading. So in the image I have uploaded, there was an accident and needs the medical emergency, so that was the incident type. So once I submit it, this incident will be added and it will be notified to the project manager. So once the project manager goes through the incident details that has been submitted by the witness, they can just simply go ahead and provide or check give an action for that incident. Let's say we have taken the employee to hospital immediately, and the corrective measures is we have given safety training, and you can give the action for that particular uh, in order for the particular incident not to happen once again. I can just upload, let me just go ahead and upload this image, and you can just give any preventive measures. I'll be giving same safety training, and if you want to upload any documents, you can update it. So once I updated it, the action will be available over here, and the witness will be notified about the action that has been taken for this particular incident that has been happened. So this is how we are managing the incidents, and we have a separate module where we can upload and save all the documents. For example, the project related documents, safety training that we have conducted, that related documents, checklist, procedures, or common documents. So every project lead or the planner can make use of this module to store their documents. And also we will be managing the RFI as well, request for information as well. So if an employer requests for an information, it gets notified to the respective in charge, and they will just take the necessary action. So this is all about the construction management that we have taken for today's topic. I hope I gave a clear idea about what are the modules and the details that are automated in this construction management. So now let's talk about some of the extended use cases for this construction management before we wind it up. So when I talk about extended use cases, here we have just automatically created the budget and the expense tracker. So you can just go ahead and track the entire project and expense detail by creating a separate module for that. So the project lead can manually give the budgeting and the cost control, and from there I can automate it to track the expenses. And document management, so we already have the module to store all your documents, so I can just enhance it by providing any AI extractions in order for the document management to work properly. And then the contract management, for example, so we have the contractors and vendor details stored over here, so you can elaborate it or extend it by managing all the onboarding, contract signing between the organization and the contractor. All those things can be managed over here. And also, since Zoho Creator supports is device compatible, you can just obviously make use of the mobile for field service operations. So these are the extended use cases of this particular construction management. So, by this, we came to the end. Let me quickly summarize what we saw in today's session before we wrap it up. So, we just discussed about the entire construction management life cycle and how we have automated it with the minute actions that has to happen from version design version changing to each and every work items. So, how we are going to track the progress and the budgeting and the expense of that particular modules has been discussed in detail. And also you could get to see that there was a clear communication between the planner, procurer, and the project lead, whoever has been assigned for that particular project. So that also has been automated in the particular application that we discussed. So this is all about the construction management application we wanted to discuss today. I hope I gave a clear idea about it. So by this we came to the end. So we have few upcoming session as well as so there is a session called a webinar called as Creator Tech Connect. So in this webinar, you can get to expect all the technical concepts of the Zoho Creator getting explained. So this month on October 9th, that is next week, we are going to conduct a webinar on the topic user management in Zoho Creator. So in this particular learning table series, today's topic, we discussed about application users, right? Internal stakeholders and external stakeholders. We will discuss in detail about how those user management is managed in Zoho Creator. That will be the topic of the Take Created Tech Connect series for the next week. So you can just either register it by scanning the QR code, or you can just use the link that will be available in the chat box to register for this session. And then for the next month learning table series, that will be held on November 6th with a new industry. We'll be discussing that later. So this learning table series is also going to be a recurring session. So you have already registered, you'll get notified about the next month session as well. So if you want to share this registration link with any of your colleagues or friends, you can scan and share it, or you can make use of the link that is available in the chat to share it. An interesting part is we are providing a discounted Zoho Creator online training as a campaign for both stage 1 and stage 2 for this month. So if you are interested, or if you want any of your colleagues to join this particular Zoho Creator online training, discounted online training, you can scan this QR code and share it with them and ask them to register for the online training, or you can register it, you can make use of it for yourself. So that link also will be available in the chat. You can just register for this uh, uh, discounted training to know more about the Zoho Creator platform. Okay. So in order to get a detailed construction management app preference or further study, you can just get to see a inquiry form that has been shared in the link. So you can just give your details over here. Our in-house solution team will just review your request and reach out to you via mail and provide the necessary assistance regarding this construction management application we discussed. Please make use of the link that is available in the chat if you want to know more about this construction management. Okay. Thank you so much for attending the session. I hope all the questions has been answered. So thank you for attending today's session. We'll meet again in the next month session with the next new NST. Thank you, everyone.